Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. My first game with Falcon. How are you, Falcon? We are answering with a professional repertoire. Let's get it going. Everyone knows how to play against this. Let's see here. Let's go with the old H5. This is actually the modern way of tackling this. Given that we don't have to. Really? Are we getting this? Are we in trouble? We could be. Yes, we could. Aha. So we didn't really win a pawn out of this deal, yeah? So if I take, and he throws in the queen check. And we move. Can we take this? 1 second here. Take. Seems like suicide, right? Nah, we're just gonna play it. We're gonna look at it later. We can always look at it later. We're just gonna keep our head about us. Cross our fingers that we don't get waxed. And we will see. We have bishop to h6, depending on where he goes. Queen, king, rook. So we're down in exchange, but our opponent did not see what we're up to. Thankfully, he did not see what we were up to. B3 does attack us rather well. As it turns out, we were lucky once again. Let's go back for just a moment, and hopefully we won't get forfeited. Let's make sure that Nicodemonius and Falcon are occupied before we go back. Good. Alexa, turn on Dojo. We don't really need this light to be out. Knight takes e4 was a blunder. So knight takes d4. And then castles, I imagine. Rook takes c3. Bishop takes c3, queen a5. a6, queen a5. Queen a5, definitely the move that bothers the opponent the most. King to b1, bishop e6, threatening the exchange sacrifice. a3, a6, threatening b5, b4. Knight to d5. Check that line. Yep, knight to d5, queen d2, knight h7. I don't know about this. Knight to d5, queen d2, bishop d2, knight f6, knight f4. Only because of bishop to d2 can we play knight f6. Knight f4, bishop d7. This would have been our position under normal circumstances, and we are equal. But I tried for more. So let's just see what happens here. So in this position, e takes d6 looked like the best move. But I still had options here of trying to take advantage of these two if I played what I played, which is why I chose what I chose. Bishop e6 is best, bishop takes a2 is best, and queen f4. He had to run for it. He did not look. And of course it's all over but the shouting after that move. So queen to b4. King to d1, bishop to e6. Queen to f2, queen c7. I was actually considering queen f2, queen to d7, threatening this after knight to b3. Trying to play queen takes d3 and queen to b1 check. That's what I probably would have done. Our speech chat is not working, so therefore I have to keep an eye. Good morning on Kingslayer Sloan. I didn't know at what point speech chat went to bed, but it did. How is my timing on that one? Let's close a few things. We don't need Chessable up in the background. We don't need that in the background. I doubt we need Blurp open in the background, nor do we need a Discord open back in the background. Take care of that Discord message. Yes, we got a late start. We've had a rough week. The good news is I saw my oldest daughter this week. She's been missing and gone for a long time. So I'm very happy about that. She's alive, and that's what counts. But barely. She's barely alive, but she's back. Let's watch Decodemonius, ladies and gentlemen. Just have to keep an eye on the speech chat. Normally I would have to be leaving right now, but this is one of my favorite days of the school cycle. That was a little crude, don't you think? Only because after knight to c3, I'm not sure what we really have here. But we do have options. Oh, Nico is winning material, which is good because he's down material. Best possible way. Falcon, you can't disappear on him like that. Hopefully Falcon had a reason for his disappearance. I really don't like disconnecting out of anger. You were a piece up, Falcon. Why did we have to give up that ghost so easily? Certainly he was upset. Don't think I don't know, Nico, what you're up to here, but it looks as though Nico was fully trying to gambit the pawn in his reformed days. His reformed day-to-day operation. Can I play it this way? Gonna alleviate our stress along this diagonal. Yes. What do you think you're doing, sir? I do know what I think he's doing. I'm not happy about it. Doesn't stop me from playing e4, though. And relocating our slightly valuable piece. Doesn't mean we can play e5, though. Oh, now we can. Now we can play e5. But we can also grab even more space. Should we tag? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Should have thought better of it. And now for something completely irrelevant. We are... Wow, we were losing material to knight c5. Knight Bishop takes d4, knight takes d4, knight e5 was losing material. Let's just try to hang on to our stuff. One more time. Second verse, same as the first. There's a little bit of overworkedness going on here. But we will see how much overworkedness there is now. Calm as a cucumber, folks. Calm as a cucumber. Trading pawns for knights, knights for pawns. Went from losing a piece to this position. And now for something completely indifferent. But what should that be? Interesting. Just in time, folks. Just in time. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. And he has that check. How rude. Nico, did you do this to me? Bishop takes rook check. Let's remove a defender. And we got lucky again. How many times can you get lucky? Ay, 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 Nico. How is the family? How is St. Petersburg? I am so jealous of St. Petersburg. I honestly am. Was my rating really lower than 2025? It's hard to believe. I must have gotten taken to the cleaners this week somehow. Vulcan is not really here anymore. Banca Culosa, are you here? No, you're not in the event? Just need to join the team, sir, that's all. No, you moved. How far? Ladies and gentlemen, Nico Demonius. Swamps and forests. You have swamps in Russia? I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it was for a good reason. I do honestly hope it was for a good reason. I can't even imagine. Swamp is like Florida. That is, a swamp in general is like the east side of Manhattan. At one time was a marshy, swampy area that was filled in, and they made it into developments by building, by putting piers into the water, a lot like how Venice was constructed. Venice is constructed on water, and they drove pillars into the earth in order to make the constructions of Venice and basically pave the entire area. Fascinating story behind Venice, I have to admit. Most of those buildings are built upon water, which is why the canals of Venice are. So let's see, I'm going to look this up. We live near, if I can. It is a lovely 34 degrees. 34 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be like 1.5 degrees Celsius. I need to move my speech chat so that I can read you more easily. Let's see here. Marsh? Yeah. I don't know, but it looks lovely in the image that I first brought up. What am I opening this in? I'm learning something new about Russia that I did not know. It's not that rural. It is an urban locality. While you're far from St. Petersburg. TripAdvisor, all you know before you go. I'm afraid to click on that one, but I will open it in a new tab. The Simonov Monastery. Well, I hope all is well for you, Nico. Seems like quite the change. Nice. You were definitely playing better. If you saw my weakness on d4, you would have clobbered me. Good luck in this game. He hasn't changed that much. Can't believe he hung his B pawn against me, of all people. But I'm going to check our game while you play for just a second. Because I did lose a piece where I thought I lost a piece. That was a silly move. This is an even sillier move. And as I mentioned, bishop takes d4, knight takes d4, wins the piece. Oh, maybe I'm okay. Is that how I escape? I have to walk a very thin line to not lose a pizza. So right now you're up a pizza. You may have more moves in this position than the quick engine gave you. Knight to b4 was the first one I was thinking. Counterattacking with e5 is another. Yeah, I think this is the right way to go about it. You stay up a piece this way. Bishop takes e4 is supposed to stay up a piece as well. Hard to believe. There's 3 minor pieces. Not entirely positive. This knight is hanging at the end. I mean, black is clearly better here, but it's not as easy as we thought, right? Queen to g5 threatens mate. f3. And it just keeps getting worser and worser. The queen cannot recapture. That's probably the simplest because of the mate threat. We're still up a piece, aren't we, after this? Maybe not. Maybe not as clear as we thought. I'd probably play rook to b4. So many weaknesses. Preparing, doubling rooks, coming in, rook to b2, this, that, the other thing. Rook takes e5, rook fc8. Also considering crazy. Oh no! Nico's game is still in progress though, no? Nico should have a game still in progress. Even if it didn't finish before the end of the arena. If he can get it down to rook and bishop versus rook, that would be pretty cool. Uh-oh. I spy a weakness. Gotta keep the pressure on that bishop. Must keep the pressure on that bishop. Don't trade rooks. He does have the wrong rook pawn, but don't trade rooks yet. And we have to bother that bishop if it goes to e1. Can we get away with g4? No. But we're going to have to secure our own second rank and exchange off these pawns as healthily as we can. Maybe we can go for a stalemate with h3. This could be tricky. d4. No, maintain the status quo. Don't lose control of your third rank, sir. Okay, the good news is he didn't want your third rank. That's the good news. e4. Must trade off these pawns. All right, now we can give him a checkup. I don't know about that one, but that one works. Amazingly enough, that one works. We've gotten rid of another pawn. Unfortunately, we didn't get rid of the pawn the way we wanted to get rid of the pawn. We are going to have to give him another checkup. And we might have a pawn promotion. Oh my god. Give him another checkup. King e5. Rook to b5. Oh no, he didn't fall for it. That's fine. Rook is still trapped, so don't do anything with your pawn yet. No, his rook is trapped in there. Kind of liked it in there. Give him a whole series of checks. He can't escape. We're here to learn, by the way, folks. Backseating is allowed. Yeah, we had to cover that one. Couldn't let him play that move. We do have Gegenspiel. A little bit of Gegenspielen. Wow, we have more than enough Gegenspielen, because when that pawn goes to e7, it promotes. So rook f6, e7, thank you very much. No, we can't push that pawn. We had to do a little bit of prophylaxis first. There is the chance for a stalemate, though. No. Yes. No, yes. He slimed him like I would. Nico slimed him like I would. Or like he would do me. Very nicely done. Couldn't quite improve on his performance, but we know where he stands. A local FIDE rated tournament. That's awesome. At least where you are, there are Gatorade tournaments. I'm happy to hear that. So how is everyone doing? Should we do some study? Should we do some analysis? Oh no, local might be a bit of a stretch. I am missing my speech chat. I'm going to give it one more shot. I'm wondering if I need to restart my computer to get speech chat to work, but apparently there's a host error on speechchat.com, which is unfortunate. We'll see if Google Speech Chat app still works within. Within the editor. Can't tell if it's working, but let's give it a shot. Chess informant. Uh-oh. Please reconnect to this platform. Failed to send message. Speech chat is not connecting even at the Streamlabs level, which is sad. Speech chat, rest in peace. 280 kilometers. Alexa, how far is 280 kilometers in miles? I'm going to guess it's like
180 kilometers is about 174 miles.
I was going to guess 150 or 160, but it's 174 miles. That's twice the distance to Philadelphia. It's probably about the distance from here to Washington, D.C. Alexa, how far is Washington, D.C. from me?
Washington is 239.3 miles away by car.
Okay, so it's closer than Washington, D.C. So your tournament was about as far away as Delaware is to me. Alexa, how far is Delaware from me?
Delaware is 179.7 miles away by car.
All right, I nailed it. Delaware is 179 miles, and that's to a specific location. So, nailed it. Rogan, what's going on, man? Is Rogan streaming? Or was Rogan streaming? I do wish to do some study streams, and I like to do them independently for YouTube. And I was attempting to finish the book Korchnoi 400 Best Games. And I do want to do it live and in real time for studying. So therefore, I will probably bring it up separately. But I also want to do Informant 162, which I do not have set yet. I have to email them straight away. So I may or may not take a small break and do that. But let's see what else we have here. Arena tournament, congratulations to, let me just make sure that I get him, Ahmed Ramsey, who didn't stick around for me, by the way. He did not stick around for me. He was on the very first thing in the stream from Egypt. Ahmed, thank you for coming. We are going to need some coffee if we're going to do a little bit more. What do you recommend, Nico? Exiting stage left and coming back for a study stream? I assume that you are 7 hours ahead of me. It's 6:30 a.m. for me. Just turned 6:31. For those of you who don't know what time it is for me, you'll see it in the bottom right-hand corner. Ah, the chess book app. Yes, I know. I know the chess book app. It's based on a bookup app that was built in Ohio by a series of guys. That's good. But in general, I think I had a reel or a TikTok recently, or or a YouTube short that described that if you study a really strong player, like I don't know how well you relate to Korchnoi, but studying the games of a strong player gives you an overall perspective that will improve your opening choices more, and I repeat this very earnestly, more than if you were to study the games or just the opening moves. Studying the games of great players will absolutely help you a lot more in your openings than studying books on openings. Short story, true story. Let's see how well that clip came out, because that could be another reel. We'll see. We will see. Short story, true story. So should I exit stage left? Or just go ahead and go right into studying? I think I'm going to exit stage left, come right back in, and do the 400 best games by Korchnoi out of print. It's hard to imagine that these are the 400 best games of Korchnoi, honestly. Podcast when, ladies and gentlemen, we have a French Bishop chess cast with Kingslayer Sloan. There is a lot to cover. The freestyle in Paris is going on. In fact, I think that if we can, we will raid Paris at the moment. We'll see if we can. If all of you wish to go over there, please join me in visiting my favorite IRL streamer, honestly, among other things. Enjoy. And I will be back with a study stream. I will talk to you more about my personal situation in a moment. Broken. Talk to everyone soon. Cheers and ciao.